Let's see. Let's get this up and going. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone receiving content. You are live. Hello, and welcome to my weekly stream. I am, as you can probably guess from what's presently on the screen, continuing my playthrough of Dragon Age Origins. I am joined once again by my co-host, Cybernetic Pink Eye. You know, right as we were getting ready, right as I was about to click start streaming on my fucking OBS, excuse me, my OBS. Boy, that's already out the window. Anyway.
So much for monetization.
It's fine. I don't really count on YouTube for a lot of that anyway.
Yeah.
But, I was about to click start streaming, and when he made that sound, and it cracked me up. And so I pointed it out to him prior to actually clicking the start streaming button. So clearly he has decided that it is very important for people to see and hear him.
What she is conveniently leaving out is that prior to that, like she building up to when she was about to hit record, I was just hearing, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Huh?
Well, I clicked pop out chat so I could actually watch the chat, but it wasn't actually receiving the comments from people. So anyway, now it's fine. I was like, I was seeing no comments, and I was wondering if there was anyone even watching. And then I saw on the OBS, I saw that the little widget that I have that shows that there's comments going was showing comments, and I'm like, wait a second.
Something is not right.
Let us see what we can do. Anyway, so, for those of you who were not here last week, a lot of it was just a lot of the side quest stuff, some of the various little bits and bobs that I have picked up leading up until this point. And I did one of the DLC missions, the Stone Golem. And, as a result, I now have the companion Shale.
Yeah.
Whom I love, and very much think that, again, Griffin would absolutely love this character if he could actually hear and see them in appropriate timing.
I mean...
Beer plus Nazareth plus lore. Well, I'm glad to be part of the equation of things that make you happy.
Yeah. Also, I see, like, someone after my own heart with their username, GojiraFan05.
Uh-huh. You kaiju fanboy.
I mean, you're not one to talk.
Excuse
I
me?
literally... I distinctly recall, like, when you and I were watching Kong Skull Island, when it was getting to the last, like, fight scene, and this isn't technically a spoiler because they showed it in the trailer, but when Kong picks up the tree and rips off the branches, like, the moment that happened, you're like, yes! 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 As they're charging at each other with Kong wielding the tree.
That's because you watch kaiju movies for the fights.
Fair.
That's why.
I'm just saying you have no right to call me out for it when you're just as guilty.
I have every right to call you out as a fanboy because you've actually watched the movies that most people kind of roll their eyes and cringe at.
Fair.
I've watched the good ones.
I mean,
and one of the bad ones.
I've shown you the good ones.
Okay, that's true. And I tried to show you that disaster with Jack Black and all of that stuff, and we only made it through half the movie before I was like, okay, that's it, I'm done. Undertale follows us wherever we go.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, about kaiju movies in general.
Oh, yeah.
But I love kaiju movies. Like, honestly, I've even loved some of the modern revival kaiju movies, things like Cloverfield and Pacific Rim. Some of these things that actually really do capture the essence of, you know, what we're after in a kaiju movie. We don't want, like, you know, gritty realism. We want fights. We want monsters fighting monsters. We want mecha fighting monsters. We want big, you know, splashy, over the top, pull the sword from your back type combat and action.
And the cherry on top is if you can take the piss out of some sort of established organization or societal practice, like in the 1954 and 2016 Godzillas. And I will say that the last entry, Godzilla King of the Monsters, definitely came closer to that spirit than the 2014 one. Not to completely shit on the 2014 one, but you can tell they had more fun with King of the Monsters.
So, again, not that I'm not enjoying the topic of conversation, but Shale has been staring at us for quite some time after sighing in our general direction.
Judging as he do.
As they do, yes. Remember, they don't have a gender.
Right. Apologies.
I mean, I'm just saying, I have my opinions on Shale's gender, so to speak, or at least I certainly used to. But, I mean, this was also technically before I was more aware of non-binary as a quote-unquote option, and, well, I think non-binary suits them a hell of a lot better.
Agreed. I do apologize.
You don't need to apologize, I'm just saying. Anyway, let's have a conversation with our newest companion. Let's see, I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
I'm told you killed your former master.
Did I not already tell it that I do not remember doing such? I remember having a master.
Oh, wait.
My memories of what happened to him are vague.
Did I ask this question before? Okay, I'm sorry. My memory is, like, non-existent. Vague? But not non-existent.
Clever and true. Oh, very well. Let me see what I can recall. My former master enjoyed experimenting upon me. I remember that much. There was tinkering with spells, and then the crystals. He was very eager to alter my function, I think.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't want to emptily flatter Shale, but...
I mean...
Alter you? Why? You're fine as you are.
Flattery. And obvious flattery, too. I feel warm and fuzzy inside. He possessed my control rod. And back then, it would have prevented me from doing anything he did not command me to, no matter how I might have wished to. So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting, and then... nothing.
So he hit the kill me button by accident?
Oh, ho, ho. It does like to laugh, does it? But who knows? I may have such a thing. And then he was gone. I was standing where I was, in the village, and I could no longer move. The villagers came, poked and prodded me in fear, and then realized they could neither move me nor destroy me. So they simply left me. And in time I forgot I hadn't stood there all along.
That must have been terrible. I'm sorry.
In fact, at first I found it more of a relief. For so many years I'd had to leap to that little toadstool's every command. Get this, pick up that, put it down, pick it up again. The gall. At first I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed. An acceptable trade-off. After years passed, I simply stopped caring.
Maybe it has something to do with your crystals.
Possibly. Except that he was not experimenting with the crystals at the time, I think. But my memory is not good. It may be correct. Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless, for which I should be thankful, yes? And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, it is nothing to fear from me. Much.
Alright, well that's fair. Oh god, and there's a fucking option here. Again, I swear that the writers for this game might have been channeling the logician for some of these lines.
I mean, there's a little logician in everyone.
I thought we talked about this. Anyway. You're not allowed to flirt with my audience.
Listen,
most of the time.
It's never intentional.
Uh-huh. Anyway, so Shale says, it has nothing to fear from me, much. And one of the responses here is, just try it, Gollum. I'm a far better mage than he.
Like,
But-
again, I feel like whenever we have a Dragon Age central character, they're equal parts sass and flirt.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
The things that it fights, and it fights things often, that is a different story. Let us get back to the walking and the fighting. My stone is beginning to itch again.
How does stone itch and plus another 8 in approval? That's fine.
I mean, I'm not sure you want the answer to that question. Probably has something to do with those crystals.
I have a lot of items in my inventory. I just realized.
It's almost as if you're playing an RPG.
Anything I can do for you.
It's almost, huh?
Yes. I mean, just be thankful it's not Resident Evil 4's inventory system.
Okay.
Like, I don't even have to have played that game to realize what a fustercluck it was.
War Paint of the Tempest, of Hakon, Winter's Breath, I don't need that. I'm just dumping a whole bunch of stuff that I don't actually need here.
Yeah. Also, to answer your question, Stengo, I've never played War of the Monsters, but I'm familiar with it. I was more into the Atari series of Godzilla fighting games that came out in the early aughts.
Oh yeah, those are a gift. Okay. Well, I do have to clear up some of my inventory space, but before we do that, I'm gonna pet Thumb!
Is.
Because I love Thumb!
Well, who doesn't?
I
Even
mean,
Motorbike Chan loves Thumb. Maybe
we
a little
have-
too much.
we have continued hearing from Motorbike Chan.
They're a recurring character. I feel like Motorbike Chan is the character. Like if our stream were a sitcom, rather if your stream were a sitcom, Motorbike Chan would be the character who gets the standing ovation whenever they walk in the door. You know, before they can continue on with the bit.
Quite possibly. What the hell is Motorbike? Oh, Don.
That's why I don't think it was ever explained to Don. So, long story short, Laura was, talking to Thumb during one of these breaks, and then suddenly what sounded like a motorcycle sped outside where I'm living, and I joked at the implication that a bike had run over Thumb. And someone in the comment coined the term Motorbike Chan. And then I guess the narrative grew from there where like Thumb and Motorbike Chan became friends, and there's even a sidecar in Motorbike Chan for Thumb to ride in.
Yeah.
And I need a Motorbike Chan and Thumb t-shirt in my life.
And we've heard quite often from Motorbike Chan while we're in calls.
They're almost as opinionated as I am.
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
Although there was the one time when the police car was driving by, or at least there was a siren.
Yeah. Also, absolutely, the license plate would say cheese. Thank you, Larks.
Of course. Sorry, I was distracted by dropping off stuff in the inventory.
Yes. Sorry, I was distracted playing the video game.
Well, part of the whole streaming thing is that I am supposed to be also commentating as I go, but Life Ward. I'm supposed to be shut it. I'm supposed to be commentating as I go, but apparently I get distracted really easily and sit here in silence.
Well, I mean, this is why it pays to have a co-host.
You're paying me?
I mean,
You're not.
This is YouTube. No one's getting paid.
True. Unless you
Except
want
for
to...
the people, unless you want to be a blatant Nazi.
Anyway, I was gonna say, unless you want to... Now it feels like it's a really bad opportunity to plug my Patreon, but, like, anyway, unless you actually want to go to my Patreon and even just doing $1 a month, I mean, sincerely, even just doing $1 a month helps me out a great deal. But, like, I know that not everyone can do the monetary thing, because a lot of us are trying to get the monetary thing, but either way, it does help me quite a bit. It helps me to not only, afford day-to-day things, medical expenses, because God knows I have to have a lot of those, right? It goes to, a little bit of a nest egg for plans in the future.
Late-stage capitalism is fun.
Isn't it, though? Especially when the Arctic is on fire. Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube itself, is nice. Every 6 to 10 months I get a payout from it. Not exactly a popular channel, mine.
I'm sorry, but...
Oh, God,
Don,
please...
That is the most ringing endorsement I have ever heard. Please pay Lore. She's not a Nazi! Smiley face.
Like, that shouldn't be a requirement, you would think.
It's... I can't believe it's not white nationalism.
Oh, device mastery! Now you can unlock things, Liliana! I see how you are! You are... Okay, let's see. Does this... Okay, so what you currently have is better than that. I'm gonna...
Really?
But yes, please pay me. I'm not a Nazi, and it means that that's one guaranteed less Nazi to get your money.
Yes. Will Smith poses.
Okay, so you can equip this now. Nice! Nice, nice.
What can I do?
Did you just have a stroke?
Certainly.
You asked that question, and then in-game the character said, certainly. Did you just have a stroke? Certainly. Oh, potent health.
Sassy ass game.
Sassy ass co-host.
I mean...
We need to stop swearing.
I mean, ass is barely a curse word.
We're talking about the donkey.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna...
And for anyone who cares, ass is in the Bible.
I mean, it is. There are a lot of things in the Bible, however, that we do not advocate for.
Yeah.
Like most of it. I mean, okay. That's me, but even so, yeah, no, just in general...
I mean, yeah, because the thing is,
my inventory is full.
Yeah, to clarify, we generally don't get into topics of religion or anything. Like, to each their own. It's mainly just let people, believe their beliefs and don't try and force other people into your beliefs or to guilt trip people into your beliefs or guilt people who are not believing what you believe. Just let people do their thing when it comes to personal spirituality. Is basically, it's certainly my policy, and from what I understand, yours as well.
Yeah. I was distracted because my storage apparently is full. Which I was not expecting that today. So I guess I'm just gonna have...
So you're saying your assets are frozen today?
I'm going to eat you. So now since I can't put things in storage, I guess. I mean, there are a lot of things that that we do and do not endorse. And among them are basically don't hurt people, don't use the things that you believe in to hurt other people, Do not use the thing, like, don't use faith as a bludgeon against other people, among other things. In terms of individual beliefs, I believe that everyone has their own perception of the way that the universe is, and as long as, again, it's more of a personal thing than something that requires other people to agree with you, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, I can understand some people, like, finding, like, personal solace in organized religion, but I feel like faith and spirituality are things that at the end of the day should be left to individual interpretation and not just something that should be decided for you.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'd say, like, dip your toe into as many pools as you personally feel comfortable with and come to your own decision.
Right.
Because it is your own path and no one can make that decision for you.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, back to the game. Since I can't store all of this stuff, I'm actually just going to give some gifts to some people. So, Liliana, I'm going to give you the Andraste's Grace, which is actually a cutscene gift because it's one of her very hyper-specific gifts. So.
Flowers? Thank you.
Oh, trust me, Gojira, I'm the last person you want as your messiah.
So I say this is a cutscene and you keep talking.
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear me say this is a cutscene gift?
I didn't.
Wow. So... anyway, cutscene. Flowers, thank you. They're pretty. These are your flowers. Your mother's flowers, aren't they? These are your flowers, Mother, aren't they? Anyway.
These were her favorite. I haven't seen these in such a long time. They smell just like Mother used to. Thank you. Thank you so much for remembering.
Liliana approves, plus 15. That's one of those things, like, there are, like, you have some gifts that are character-specific, and then there are some that are literally on the basis of, like, they mention it directly. Okay, so Zathrian, Sten, I've got something for you.
I am impressed. My thanks.
And he does, like, portraits, which, again, it's interesting what the gifts that you can give people actually suggest about them personality-wise. Like, I can give wine to Grandma here.
A generous gift.
I mean...
Thank you ever so much.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Alright. I need to continue working on Sten's approval, but for now, I'm going to accept it as it is. Save. And now, I'm going to take a second to take a sip, but then we're going to be advancing the plot. Woo!
God damn.
It's been a couple of weeks since we last actually did something particularly plot-related.
Truly, once in a blue moon.
I'm sorry your legs feel like they're dead. Alistair kissed me. I'm glad that is... Yeah.
Huh.
Yes, it is. Of course I have one of those files. It's Alistair and it's me.
Yes.
I mean...
So anyway, what do you say we go poke the elves? After 2 filler episodes. There was only 1 filler episode.
Magic Lorelei is my favorite anime.
Okay, cutscene? Or, oh, an attack area. Oh, with giant spiders. I can already see it.
It's gonna be ambush the butterflies.
Oh, look at all of these giant spiders! Yeah. Also, they're really close up on my ass here. Oh, I can't get it from over here? Fine. Fine. Oh, look, it's elf fruit. Alright, bloody corpse. Let me guess there's gonna be more spiders over here in a second. Really? No?
Huh.
Okay, I'll take it.
Next come the ROUSs.
I mean, duh. No, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That's what I want. How fucking dare you hit me?
How fucking yeah.
Also, we need to stop swearing.
I didn't swear, I said feck. FECC.
Oh, okay, sorry, it was drowned out because the game was loud. Good on you. Thank you for respecting my stream more than I do. Alright, let's loot.
Someone's got to.
Let's loot all of these corpses for their money, the things that they were, you know. Yeah. And cocoon here. Greenstone.
See, now I'm flashing back to the spiders from the animated Hobbit movie.
Well, we're not going to talk about that.
For anyone who hasn't seen it, go see the animated Hobbit movie from the 70s. It is, like, in some ways it's very ironically enjoyable, but other ways it's just a good time. I believe it was made by the same studio who made The Last Unicorn.
Oh, okay. Bloody corpse, we're gonna take their money. That's fine, that's fine. Oh, queen spider. Well, let's see. Can I set up a tempest? As a matter of fact, I can. And of course, I set up the spell, and everyone clusters around me. Thanks for that, guys. So I set up this big, loud, noisy, flashy spell, and you guys just led her straight over to me. What? No. How? No. I'm gonna go. Foul demons. We had that encounter, and now we're about to go into a cutscene, so I'm telling you explicitly cutscene.
Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly.
Oh, that's right. I think there's some mods in play, I think, that deepen tattoos, so some people are going to have some very heavy face markings. Actually, I've been looking for the Dalish.
I find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours?
Do you not see that I'm glowing, bitch? I mean, I could talk to the leader alone, but... Okay, I could just be a terrible person and say, I'm a Grey Warden. Or, okay, I may as well just say that.
I mean...
I am a Grey Warden. I wish to speak to your leader.
A Grey Warden? How do I know you're telling the truth?
Many people go about pretending to be Grey Wardens, do they? Oh boy, that's an ironic line. Knowing some stuff that comes later.
No, that's true.
I mean...
Perhaps I shall let the Keeper decide for himself. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our arrows are still trained on you. Follow me.
Alright, take care, Sean.
Have a good one.
I see we have guests. Who are these strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
This one claims to be a Grey Warden and wishes to speak with the clan. I thought it best to leave the decision to you.
That was wise of you. Masirinus Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zathrian, the keeper of this clan, its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
I'm also going to state a reminder, folks, to please be careful about posting spoilers in the chat.
Yeah.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but there are many people... Oh, someone is now following. Thank you.
Nice.
What the... My mouse decided to freak out. Anyway. I don't know that you're necessarily the only one, but yeah, anyway, just try to avoid posting spoilers in the chat. Continuing with the conversation now.
Yeah.
You don't need to know who I am. My name is Evelyn. A pleasure to meet you.
Manners. From a Shemlin. Interesting. What might be your mission here? Have you come to spread news of the Blight? I had already sensed the corruption spreading in the south. The existence of the Blight is not news to me. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not.
Okay.
Yes, it seems like you've had your own troubles. What are the odds?
I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation. Please, follow me.
It always requires explanation. There's always something going on.
The clan came to the Brazilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us. And though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped. But we are in no position to uphold our
you need a minute.
I am truly sorry.
There was one voice clip that was weirdly louder than all of the other moaning and groaning, and it was clearly recorded in a different room that had room echo, and it was just... it's just like this one woman going, oh, ah, ah, and I was just like, wow, this is recorded in a completely different room from everything else.
Don't you just love, like, the dubbing jobs of this era in gaming?
Honestly, they do a really good job with this. It was just like... Yeah, no, that one voice clip was very prominent. I was like, is there someone around me grunting and moaning somehow? Anyway. That was a very loud scream. Anyway. Is there no way to help your men?
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself. And that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
You're talking about a werewolf, but you're gonna ask me to get it anyhow, right? Anyway, I am good at non-trivial tasks.
Within the Brazilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us. I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.
You said you could perhaps destroy the curse?
There is no guarantee that this will work, as I suspect. But it's the only hope we have left.
Have you considered seeking outside help?
From whom? The Children of the Stone? The Shemlin? Do you truly think they have time to spare for us?
I mean, they might, but I'll find this Witherfang for you.
I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Brazilian forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see.
Oh, I see.
Where there is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead. But if you can indeed help, then I wish you luck.
This entire conversation we're going to have near dying people screaming for pain.
Not a distractor at all.
I have some questions for you.
Make them quick, if you please. I have much to do here. My apprentice Lanaya or Shale, the clan's storyteller, could provide you with answers just as easily.
How do I find Witherfang? Do you have any advice?
Watch for the white wolves. They are his eyes and ears in the forest.
So you're saying I'm going to be killing a lot of wolves. Excellent. Tell me more about this curse the hunters suffer from.
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone with it.
I mean, first of all, that's not how you spell it anyway, and second of all, that's technically an ethnic slur that I do not recommend that we continue using.
Yeah.
If you want to refer to the culture or the people, you could probably go with Romani.
Yeah. Or Roma for short.
Or Roma. So did all werewolves everywhere stem from Witherfang?
No. The ones from this forest, however, do.
So, if a werewolf bites me, then I will become infected?
It is possible, but not guaranteed. The only way to protect against the curse is not to be bitten.
How do you know if you've been infected by the curse?
You will know within a matter of days. You will begin to sweat and vomit, and most tellingly, your temper will become wild and uncontrollable. If that happens to you, you should seek out Witherfang even more swiftly. Your mission at that point will be rather personal.
I know that a lot of you are... You know, I'm going to say this. BioWare is the game company if you have a voice kink. Because they will get the right voice actors.
Yeah.
How did this curse start?
That is a long tale I do not have time to tell. Ask Shale about it if you wish.
Okay, I want to ask about something else.
Go on, then.
I should go.
I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
As they scream around us. Alright, that's a lot of, it's a lot of death. It's a lot of screaming and pain, and there's Mithra the Hunter and all of that stuff. Alright, let's see. Well, first things first is we need to loot all of the things. Except I just realized I don't need to actually do that because I'm fine on money, but... First-hand account of the time that predates the Dalish. Interesting. When our people left to Winter, we had nothing except the knowledge that for the first time in countless centuries we were free. It was Shartan's dream that one day we would have our own homeland, where we would live as we chose. After a long struggle that claimed the lives of many, even Shartan himself, we were granted the Dales, and though the Dales were to the south of the land of Orlais, and a long way off from Deventer, it mattered little. We were going home. And so we walked. And then more war happened. I mean, I'm just going to summarize the rest of that right there.
There are places where those horns bring huge prices. Can cure diseases,
What?
so they say.
Where? What?
Of course.
What are you even talking? Elgernon, God of Vengeance. A lot of actually the creators in Elven lore in this game are actually very interesting. Definitely worth checking out. God of the Craft. And for me, I'm just collecting them for the sake of, like, experience. God damn, that screaming is constant. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I love the idea of like someone walking through like a field hospital or like some sort of place where emergency care is being done, and just the protagonist says, "God, that screaming is constant."
Okay, but that would just be the logician, wouldn't it?
I mean,
like just like walking through. It's like, okay, can you get those people that are screaming to quiet down? They're dying, sir. Yeah, but that doesn't mean they have to be loud about it.
I mean, the original 1954 Godzilla would have had a completely different feel if, like, the opening scene in that stuffed hospital with people with radiation burns and, like, people crying over lost loved ones, and just the one person, God, that screaming is constant.
Yes, Elven Lord. Anyway, I'm gonna talk to this guy.
What are you doing? You've warped the wood completely. Did you leave it out in the rain?
No, Master Ferethorn. I think I just used too much heat.
That's what she
said. You're not smelting ore like a Durgenlin. This is living wood. It requires patience and delicate hands, not more heat.
My actions bring me sorrow, Master Ferethorn.
That's what he said.
And so they should. Truly, the art will be lost to us forever at this rate. Throw away your dead wood and start anew, and I shall speak to our guest. Now then, please forgive my distraction, stranger.
What?
Is there something that you need?
That's not how you hold a hammer!
Don't even worry about it.
No! That's not how you use a hammer!
Listen, the man is a professional. Clearly he knows best.
He's an apprentice!
Well, are you an apprentice? No, I didn't think so.
I was, and then I became a full enchanter. Anyway, what exactly do you make here?
I'm the clan's craftsmaster. It's my responsibility to learn what I can of the ancient elven arts of shaping wood and ore. In truth, we Dalish know little of the art compared to what we once did. And even what we know has taken us many lifetimes to achieve. There is wood that, if treated properly, is as hard as steel but far lighter. It grows only in this forest, Ironbark. The keeper has forbidden us from entering the forest to collect the wood. This means I cannot make our finest crafts for years to come.
What if I found some ironbark for you?
I would be hesitant to ask it of you, but if you should come across ironbark, I suppose there would be no harm in gathering some. It is blue and very distinctive.
Like me?
You can only harvest the bark which has fallen off the tree from age. Now, if you find some, bring it to me, and I will craft it for you.
What kind of item would you make?
I excel in making blades from the ironbark, or perhaps a breastplate. Provided there's enough wood, that is.
Very well. I'll take a look when I'm in the forest.
That would please me. So long as our hunters come first.
Well, yes, of course your hunters come first. That's why we heat the wood. I would like to barter with you.
I am no merchant, but let us trade. Perhaps there's something here which will be of value to you.
The Lore Corer's Apprentice. Sure. Just gonna stock up on all the things. Gonna need some lyrium potion, which, you know, for the longest time I didn't need. Then again, I wasn't exactly, greater health poultice respite, that's excellent. Anyway, I wasn't playing a mage for the longest time, so, that even makes sense. Scout's bow, Dalish longbow, that's actually pretty good.
Also, goddammit, Dork Princess.
What?
The Lorcerer's Apprentice.
Yes, the Lorcerer. I pronounced it as Lorcore because I am dumb. Dalish gloves reinforced. Dalish boots. Elf rope. You know what?
I'm not sure I want to know.
Silver brooch. Ooh, it's a gift. Ooh, I think I know who that's for. And I'm gonna fill my inventory unnecessarily before I can even think to give it to... Anyway. And the apprentice is now just standing there staring at him.
Master
I mean,
Ferethorn,
that's
he's
just
very
it. Like,
busy.
what do
Takes many
NPCs
decades
like
to
just
master even
have to
what
do
little
when the
know of
character's
old crafts.
just going through their inventory? I imagine there's a lot of just awkward. Are you done?
Well, let's see. There's Here's Lanaya.
I'm Darren Atishan, Grey Warden. My name is Lanaya. I am Zathrian's first, what you might call an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I am a bit curious of the outside world. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
You just asked me a question right there. Anyway, do I look like I'm here to entertain you? Okay. If you like...
Am I a clown to you? Do I amuse you?
Stop. Hey, speaking of voice acting and being a really skilled voice actor, Griffin is in the Now Voice This competition that is being hosted on Twitter. I believe you're in the semifinals?
I am. I managed to get there again. This is my second year competing, and for the second year in a row, I've made it to the semifinals.
Which means that you're a talented voice actor, and I'm very proud of you.
Well, thank you very much. We'll see what the results of this round are on Monday. If anyone is at all remotely curious about the contest, I highly recommend listening to the other entries because there's some frigging amazingly talented people in this contest that I feel need a lot more attention than they're getting.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. If you like, go ahead.
I hear the human cities are very large. Thousands upon thousands of souls all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
I'm a mage. I've lived in one tower my entire life. What makes you think I know what cities look like? Anyway, yes, some are larger than the eye can see.
How very loud that must be with everyone talking all at once. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
You're a difficult thought. I wouldn't know anything about that. That's actually the correct answer, but... It isn't an easy life for them. That's true.
I suppose you have met many of my kind in your travels. My heart goes out to them. It is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have a question, if it's not too impolite to ask. Do your people regret what they did to ours?
Some of us do. Not all humans are the same.
I see. That is difficult for our people to accept. Even if only some were in favor of what was done to us, the rest did nothing to stop it. A poet once wrote of them, before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons, they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you. Forgive me. Perhaps you have some questions of your own.
See, now here's an interesting thing. The elves in this game have a backstory where once upon a time they were the dominant race on this continent, and then humans came along and colonized it for themselves and then enslaved the local population, which actually ended up apparently affecting not only their abilities but as well as their lifespan. They have no homeland anymore. It has all been taken from them and colonized by the humans, and they have been slaves for a good chunk of the last few centuries. Only recently, well, okay, in the last few hundred years, were they actually freed. Some of them, like the Dalish here, do what they can to try and retain their traditional rights, try to remember what their people once were, to hold on to the ancient magics that they had. And some of them live in the cities and have basically integrated with human life. That's actually one of the reasons why the two of the origins that you can choose if you play an elf is either a city elf, someone who has integrated with the human society, or a Dalish elf, someone who lives in a clan like this, which are nomadic and go from place to place. They were actually intended to be a diaspora similar to the Jewish people, who were kicked out of their homeland and made to wander for a good period of time. And there's a lot of parallels, intentional and otherwise. So when we get to this point in the story, and we're told things like, do your people regret what they did to ours? And we hear like a lot about the effects of racism and the effects of colonization. It's one of those, okay, this is an interesting parallel to some real life events. And then this story, I'm sorry, Palm. Yeah, I don't stream on Twitch. Anyway, in this story, they then take it in later installments and they do things with the plot that make it basically, actually the elves are also at fault for what happened. And I'm like, would you please stop making parallels to real events and then turning around and saying, actually it's their fault too. They deserve this because blank blah blah blah. It undermines not only taking your story seriously, but it also ends up having unfortunate implications for the real world. I'm gonna sit here and criticize BioWare because I feel entitled to it.
And yet, it's your favorite series of games.
Well, it's among them. Mass Effect, a little bit. Many of the Sierra games, like the King's Quest games or the Quest for Glory games. But yeah, no, I just wanted to take a moment to kind of talk about some of the parallels that were being invoked here and why I have issues with them doing what they eventually do. Like, it's not a bad thing to necessarily include parallels to real-life events, to include analogs and metaphors and things along those lines, especially in a fantasy story, but be careful, especially if you're drawing from a culture that is not your own.
Like, general rule of thumb, victim blaming is not a good idea, especially when it comes to racial and societal and cultural genocide, even in fictional settings, because oftentimes those fictional settings will have real-world inspiration and parallels that only get worse with age.
I mean, I think of one of the reasons why I haven't even touched Bright on Netflix is because they do that by coding the orcs with blackness. That is an unfortunate thing. That's another thing. What was it? District 9? I think was another movie where they went, any plans of ever revisiting Blackwell? Yes, there are definitely plans. I will probably be incorporating that into my Sunday morning streams as opposed to these, because Dragon Age is going to take a very long time to get through, especially if we keep having these long extended conversations like this. What?
Dawn. Never change.
What did they do?
In the streaming section in your... We have our t-shirt design, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright. Well...
Oh my god.
Let's see. Display, capture.
Ask and Dawn shall deliver.
So, that's that. And I'm gonna just drop this back down here, but... Yeah, so that's a thing.
Bless you, Dawn.
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for Motorbike Chan.
The adventures of Thumb and Motorbike Chan.
But
or vice versa.
Something like that. But anyway. So I just wanted to take that slight little detour to talk about it, because one of the reasons why I'm doing this game series again, and especially streaming and everything, is because I want to revisit some of the topics that they seeded in the beginning and how they change over time, how it changes the opinion of many of these characters and sort of retroactively affects stuff that they even start here. Anyway, tell me more about yourself.
I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
How did you come to the Dalish if you were so young?
My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
I don't like the pause before the word servant there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It must have been horrible.
It was. The long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
Lanya's voice might be familiar. Unfortunately, I don't know it. You said that the Dalish rescued you from bandits?
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zathrian came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror. No one could stop him. I sat there, and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow. When he saw me, the fury in his eyes turned to pity. He took me back to the clan, and I've been here ever since.
Oh! Really? Oh, what is the voice actor's name? Because I know if that's the same character, if that's Ashley, then it's also the same person who, for example, plays Jasper in Steven Universe.
Huh.
Unfortunately, the actual name of the actress escapes me right now, but yeah, I'm kind of hearing a lot of those same notes, so that makes sense. Which is really ironic, because a lot of people love to characterize Ashley in Mass Effect as a racist. So here she is playing one of the characters that faces racism. Anyway.
I mean, isn't it ironic?
Didn't you have family you could have returned to?
It's possible I might have had some. Maybe many. Zathrian offered to take me back, but I had no idea where I was from. And I wanted to stay with the man who rescued me. The clan is my family. Any others out there? It's best they believe that little girl died with her parents. For now, the clan is all I need. My old world could not have offered me all this, and the knowledge of a keeper as well. Perhaps one day, when I am keeper, I might inquire out of curiosity. I'm not sure what lies down that road except pain, however.
How did you become a keeper?
I am not a keeper. I am Zathrian's first. Though because I was not born into the clan, becoming his first was very difficult. We Dalish have old traditions. The clans come from the ranks of the nobility that once ruled the Dales, you see. The keepers of those old clans have the strongest and purest blood that reaches back to the days of Arlathan. I had to compete against the other candidates for first, to be better than them in everything, simply because I was not of the old blood.
You must be proud of your accomplishments.
I am. The ceremony where Zathrian anointed me as his first was the proudest day of my life. The clan has placed great trust in me. One day, I will lead them and be the one who secures our future.
What does a keeper do exactly?
A keeper is, first and foremost, the leader of the clan. He decides where we go and when we shall move. He's also responsible for knowing the clan's ancient lore and passing it on to the others in the clan. Without a keeper, the clan's knowledge is lost forever, so the clan protects him like no other.
What can you tell me about Zathrian?
Nothing that you could not ask Zathrian himself. He is the keeper of this clan and has been for a very long time. He is also a very good man who has lost much. The Dalish are everything to him, and he would do anything to protect them.
Lost much? What has he lost?
He lost his family a very long time ago. I don't know the story, but I understand the circumstances were horrific.
I should go.
As you wish. Darth Shirel. Yes? Have you another question?
I should go.
As you wish. Darth Shirel.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. Let's see. There's a lot to explore here, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Colored inks. Velisleen blood writing. Basically, they tattoo themselves with blood-based ink in their faces. That's what all of the markings on their faces is. Wynn, do you have a problem with Athras?
Anderanetician, stranger. I am Athras. I hope the others have not been too harsh in their treatment of you.
I don't mind. I understand.
That is very generous of you. Most would assume we are unkind as a rule, and that is not the case. Especially not to a Grey Warden. But we have lost much, and it is easy to forget simple niceties at such a time. I understand you will search for the wolves in the Brazilian forest. I would join you, but Zathrian has forbidden me.
Understandably. You do not seem very happy about that.
None of us are happy about this situation, and I least of all. But I shouldn't speak too much about this, especially with an outsider. I am sure you have little interest in my problems.
Please, I'd like to hear about it.
It's odd to talk so freely with a stranger, but perhaps you can help me. My wife Dalish and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zathrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that Dalish is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her. If I could just know if Dalish is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace.
Perhaps I could convince Zathrian to tell the truth.
No. It would be very rude to accuse the Keeper of lying. I know he means well. I just need to know. One way or another. If you were in the forest, perhaps you might come across her. Alive or dead. Any news would be better than none.
That's
and
fair.
In return, I would be happy to gift you an amulet made by our craftsman. It may fetch you some coin in the human lands.
She's probably dead, you know. Anyway, I'll see what I can do.
Since we seem to be heading into the forest anyhow, that does seem to be the right thing to do.
You are most kind.
I get that a lot. I should go.
Please. Should you come across my wife, return and tell me.
I just agreed to do that, yes. Thank you. Alright, so let's see, who do we have? Because I want to make sure that I catch as much as I can of all of this stuff.
I never thought I'd ever set foot in a Dalish camp.
Okay, Wynn. I didn't ask your opinion. Anyway, this is a named elf. Hi, Cammon.
Hello?
There's no need to be afraid of me.
Of course. I'm very sorry. It's just that we don't get many visitors. Like you, I mean. Of your kind.
Of my kind? Well, I mean, you are a mage that's literally glowing. But...
I didn't mean it like that. Can we start over? I am Cammon, a hunter apprentice. Though I wish I could become a real hunter.
Why can't you?
I shouldn't be talking about this to an outsider. You wouldn't understand.
Tell me, or try me. I might surprise you.
I suppose there's no harm in it. It's not like you can help me.
Of course not.
I've been an apprentice for too long. To become a true hunter, I must bring back the pelt of a beast I killed myself. A boar or a wolf or something. I wanted to hunt in the forest, but we're forbidden to enter because of the attack. But the real problem is Gaina.
She's gay. Nah. Who's Gaina?
She's my heart's desire. I have asked for her hand, but she cruelly refuses it. She will not bond with an apprentice, she says, and calls me a child. I am no child. If I was a hunter, I could prove it, but I cannot hunt, and Gaina will never bond with me. I feel so helpless. I shouldn't have brought it up. Just leave me to my misery.
There must be some way to solve your problem.
You think I haven't thought about this? There's nothing I can do.
Perhaps I could talk to Gaina for you.
I suppose you could, but what good would that do? The situation hasn't changed.
I can be pretty persuasive.
Really? I'm willing to try anything.
It can't hurt.
Cyranas. Oh, ma Cyranas. I will pray to the goddess of love that you are successful.
Alright. Now let's save here. Dalish camp. So I've got camp, and I've got Dalish camp. Alright, where did he go staring off to look at? Oh, well there's Fan Harrel, which I'm going to need to click. Fan Harrel.
Yeah.
The Dread Wolf. Again, if you guys ever have a chance to go through the game lore, doing searches and stuff like that.
All right.
For the codices as they come up in the game.
Allow me. I could do that for
I mean, that's the thing. Oftentimes, even if there's some dredging parts of an RPG, if it's an RPG that includes a lot of like books or tomes or whatever throughout the world, I feel like if nothing else, it's worth trying to get more insight into the world building by reading up on those things, because I feel like if a programmer has gone to the trouble of putting them in the game, it's at least worth getting a better idea of what type of world you're living in, even if the direct narrative isn't making it all that clear.
That's the thing, there's a lot of world building that goes on with it, and it is information that foreshadows some things that happen down the line.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's try to woo Gaina.
Andaran Atishan, outsider.
You are Gaina, correct? Cameron mentioned you.
You spoke to him? What did he say?
He said that you refused to give him your hand.
Oh. I don't expect an outsider to understand our ways, but I just can't bond with Cameron. He's been a hunter apprentice for over 2 years now, and he's yet to slay a proper beast. Each time he's tried, something has gone wrong. Perhaps the creators do not wish us to bond. I cannot bond with an apprentice hunter, can I?
That sounds like a problem. Your problem. Anyway, if you love him, it doesn't matter what he is, does it?
But what if he never becomes a proper hunter? What will become of our family?
Why does everything depend on him? But anyway, if you love him, then believe in him and help him succeed.
Oh, you are right. I have made poor Cameron miserable. No wonder he cannot complete his hunt. Masiranas, thank you. You have helped me put this into perspective. I will go and speak to Cameron.
You can actually sabotage this and flirt with either member of this.
I mean, here, who can't you fucking flirt with in this game? Fricking.
What do you mean?
Fecking.
Shh. Have you changed your mind?
I have. The outsider has helped me to see that I was wrong. I have made you miserable, and I should not have.
But what about my hunt?
I don't care about that. I know you will pass your hunt in time, and we will be happy. Us and our children.
Thank you, Gaina. You've made me a happy man. I feel blessed by the gods today.
Aww. We have hooked 2 random strangers
I'm very
up.
grateful for the part you've played in bringing us together.
How marvelous you are. I am so happy. This is so wonderful. Young love allowed to flourish.
Here, take this. It's been in my family for a very long time, but I hope it plays some part in your battle against the Darkspawn. It's the very least we could do.
I forget what it is. I think it's like a book. Liliana approves. What item did I receive here? I think it was... Yes, the Tale of Ilorin. He gave me a storybook.
Congratulations, you got a children's book for getting Elvin Neville Longbottom a girlfriend.
I hate that you're right. Lebanon, mother of the... Hala! Okay.
Really?
Who comes? Oh, I beg your pardon, stranger. I was so busy attending to the Hala, I did not hear your approach.
What is a Hala?
They are the noble beasts that pull our Aravel. What humans call land ships. They are our companions and our guides.
You make them sound like friends.
That is exactly what they are, in fact. We ride the Hala, but never with reins or a saddle. It is the Hala who decide where to lead us, and our privilege that they take our Aravel with them.
I forgot to
save. In return,
save.
it's the herder's job to speak to the Hala and care for their needs. It's a bond of friendship, and not servitude.
So why have you separated this one from the others?
I fear she may have been bitten during the werewolf attack. I have tried speaking with her, but she is too agitated for me to understand. The curse would not affect her as it would us, but it would still be lethal. And it may prove contagious to the other Hala as well. I can find no wound on her, but if she's truly ill, then I will have to put her out of her misery. For her sake, as well as that of the others.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't know. Do you have any skills that might help her? If you do, I would be grateful.
I have a few options for survival here. I guess start with trying to calm the Hala.
No. No, I'm sorry. She isn't calming any more around you than she is for me.
Okay, so examine the Hala.
And? What do you think?
Oh, no, god damn it. You're supposed to be able to help with this Hala, and I want to be able to do that. I truly cannot tell.
I'm glad you attempted it regardless.
I should go.
I will...
I'm gonna lose all of the progress that I just had. I think I saved it right before talking with Cam, and so I'm just going to start with this conversation. I'm gonna talk to that woman again once I've actually raised my survival skill.
Hey.
But...
So, have you spoken to
boy.
Okay, so...
And remember, kids, Hala are friends, not food.
Alright, so where... Okay. Go through this conversation again.
Andaran Atishan outsider. You spoke to him? What did he say? Perhaps the creators do not... But what if he...
Okay. Alright. Saving again, so I don't have to do that again. And let's see, what... spells and talents. Skills. Oh, I don't have any skills in survival.
Oh.
Well, that would be why I'm not going to do that then. So I'm going to save that for once I actually have a chance to come back here with more survival points. Anyway. So yeah, don't do that unless you actually have a high survival, in your high ranking in survival. There's words. Okay. Okay, that's good, that's good. Alright, well, may as well do that for nature resistance, I guess. Mental Fortress. Or disengage, threaten, or let's see, shield wall. I'm gonna do that.
For a second, I thought that was Garrus.
Yeah, I have been likened to a cat before.
Color me thunderstruck.
Okay, so we did actually learn something new about Zathrian over here. So I'm going to have a quick little chat with him. I know I promised we would advance the plot today, but anyway.
Yes? What is it you need? Have you news?
I spoke to Lanaya about you.
And what did she have to say?
She told me that you lost your family, but wouldn't say how.
I would rather not speak of it. It is very painful for me.
Cat.
Even now, after so long. The werewolves were responsible. That is all you need to know, and should adequately explain my hatred of them, no?
No, no.
Let us leave it at that.
Ah! Did you fuck with my pizza, Cat? Anyway.
That's a quote.
Yeah. She said that you have been keeper for a very long time.
That's true. Hundreds of years, if you must know.
Hundreds?
Slowly, the Dalish will all know once again the agelessness of the elves. For now, only a few of us have regained that ability. But I cannot say any more on that. I trust your curiosity is sated.
I should go.
I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
He is very cagey about certain things. Anyway, well, let's save again so that, again, I don't need to skip through a conversation. And let's chat with Cyril.
We few wanderers greet you, Shemlin. We understand you are venturing into the haunted forest to save our brethren. I suspect your efforts may be in vain. An entire group of our hunters went into the forest to do as you intend, and they have not returned.
The Keeper mentioned that.
Then you are very brave to adventure into such a place, even knowing the danger that awaits. Your courage impresses us greatly.
He's being deeply sarcastic with me, and quite frankly, I don't appreciate it, but...
Then why do you take it from me?
You're different.
Am I?
Do I really take it from you? That's a quote.
Again, we've got a whole line of t-shirts we could make with this.
I mean, we should. I should have a merch store so that people can buy t-shirts and support me. You can also go to Patreon, that's always linked in the description of this video. Okay, anyway.
I mean, you joke, but I don't think people would pass on the opportunity to get those shirts.
Maybe. I haven't done anything to deserve this, have I?
Perhaps not. You have been remarkably kind to us for an outsider. But an outsider you remain.
You are being most unkind, Cyril. Would you refuse our hunter's help simply because of the hand that offered it?
You shame me, Evelyn. I have allowed my bitterness to cloud my better judgment. Forgive me, Grey Warden. It is most difficult to forget the lessons the Shemlin have taught us. Perhaps I can yet make amends. Stay while I spin a tale for our children. And then I will tell you of the forest if you desire.
Yes, I'd like that.
Come and join us then, all of you. Now, what say we tell the story of the fall of the Dales? Which of you children knows that best?
Children?
I think I do.
Yes? Then come, child.
I see one
Don't be frightened
child.
of the outsiders. Now, where do you suppose such a tale should begin?
When we were slaves?
Yes. Long ago, our people were slaves to an empire the Shemlin had built on the darkest.
These are not children!
They took away our history and our language and left us nothing. And then that empire fell. We were freed.
Because Andraste came with her army, and Shartan joined her.
Yes. Andraste, the Shemlin prophet, came out of the south and challenged the Tevinter Imperium. Our ancestor, Shartan, fought at her side. And when the rebellion came to an end, we were given a new homeland in the west, the Dales. We began to rebuild the culture and history we had lost in our years of slavery. We worshipped the creators and made the Dales our home. Perhaps you know what happened next, stranger. Do you know what happened to the Dales?
You started a war with us and lost. I mean, so in character, the way that I have this OC, this character, she would actually know because she's very much the sort of person that studied books and learned history. Her hand is inside of her thigh.
I mean, and once again, Alistair is studying it.
You started a war with us and lost.
We started the war, did we? And you, child, what do you believe happened to the Dales?
The Shemlin wouldn't let us be.
Indeed. They resented that we would not worship their maker, and they resented our ways because they were so different from their own. The Shemlin nations grew cold towards the Dales. They called us blasphemers and tyrants, and declared war upon us. A great crusade.
There, again, none of these options are great. It's a war you started, I'm told. You say that, like, there was no reason for it, and not every human... Like, that's literally not all men. You know? Goddamn. Anyway, not every human felt that way, I'm sure.
And which is worse? The actions of those who believed they were right, or the inaction of those who knew they were wrong? Oh, I am certain we played a part in our downfall. We believed that the Shemlin would not revoke their prophet's gift so lightly. We were wrong. They took our lands, forcing us to abandon our gods and live as beggars in Shemlin cities. But there were those of us who refused to abandon our ways. They emblazoned the symbols of the creators upon their flesh and vowed to keep their ancient lore alive.
That's us. That's the Dalish.
Indeed, child. We chose to wander, homeless, rather than be ruled by the Shemlin. And all our clans wander alone until the day we have a homeland once more.
Then we bring the old ways back to our people, because they have forgotten it all.
For we are the Dalish, the keepers of the lost lore.
The walkers of the lonely path.
We are the Elvenar, and never again shall we submit. That is the tale of the Dales, stranger. Thank you for allowing us to tell it to you.
So, here's the other issue that I have with this. One, the game did not give me any dialogue options that didn't sound like, well, I mean, you started it. I'm sure we had good reasons for trying to cast you out of the society that you belonged to and things that you actually, and property that you actually owned. And, like, there's no option to actually be a good ally to the elves here.
No, but all lives matter, though.
Don't even say that. You're not funny. But that's just it. There is no way to come through this conversation without sounding like a complete and absolute asshole. But I appreciate that they actually took the time to explain that not all wars are what they usually actually sound like on the surface. Of course, history is written by the victors, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But, like, they also... The unfortunate part of this is that there is a lot of... It's warranted hostility for actions that I can't actually choose. Like, I can't actually be a good ally, so I'm saying asshole-ish things, and so this guy's hostility is justified, but a player coming through this is just going to be like, well, I mean, they were just needlessly really mean to me, and I don't get it. And again, when you make a parallel to real-life peoples and their experiences and all of that stuff, and then you make them hostile, and you make it so that you as the player, despite not actually participating in any of these things, you know, can only say dickish things to them, then it's going to be like, well, it's not my fault, and they're being mean to me.
One of your favorite games.
You know, again, that's not funny, because there are many things that I love. There are many things that I actually and really truly love and appreciate that have problems. There are things that I will criticize and I will dissect and I will say, I love The Little Mermaid, It is one of my not just favorite movies of all time, but something that was foundational to me. It was what inspired me to start singing as a little girl. So, but I know that the fact that the female protagonist spends most of the movie not talking, and that they even explicitly say that men don't like it when girls talk, etc. That kind of stuff is problematic.
Also, isn't she underage?
She's 16, yes.
Yeah.
No, the writers of this game don't think through the whole implications, and I'm going to have a whole rant about how they, one, treat mentally ill people throughout the entire series, and two, that they have coded the mages in this series with things that are associated with disability as well as mental illness. There's the whole, they're too dangerous for their own good. They'll either hurt themselves or they'll hurt other people, so we need to imprison them and watch over them, and we get to dictate all of their rights as well as the abuses that they have to endure. And then they flip that around and say, but actually, you can still be making a morally just choice in killing them because they become obscenely powerful, etc., etc. That they can be actually dangerous. And again, when you make a real-world comparison to something, and then you make it so that you have to face those people being hostile towards you or actually having to deal with them as an enemy, you create an unconscious parallel, intentionally or otherwise. Yeah, so not everything is perfect, and one of the reasons why this game series is actually among my favorites is because it has a lot of things to discuss and make you think about.
Fair.
Anyway, thank you. I enjoyed it very much.
Perhaps one day you will tell us a tale of your people. A day when you are not guest and stranger, but savior. Now, as I said I would, I can tell you what I know of the Brazilian forest. Do you wish to hear it?
That might be helpful. Yes, tell me of the forest.
Our legends say that before the Shemlin came, the Brazilian forest was a place of our ancestors that predated even our oldest homeland. The people of the Imperium came here and gave the forest its name. If they found traces of our ancestors, we cannot say. If they did, those elves were slain or enslaved. We know only that a great many battles were fought here. These trees grow upon the graves of those who fell, Shemlin and elves both.
And?
So much death in one place tore the veil into the beyond. The Shemlin know the beyond as the Fade, the place of dreams and spirits. When the veil is torn, spirits pass into our world freely. The legends say that one great spirit possessed the wolf that became Witherfang, who passed its curse of rage onto men and created werewolves.
Huh. This Witherfang still exists today?
So Zathrian insists. He says that Witherfang does not age as the werewolves do. Witherfang is as much spirit as it is beast, and thus it is immortal. Perhaps it cannot even be slain. At the very least, it is old and powerful, much as Zathrian himself.
Uh-huh, interesting comparison you're making there. So, there are many spirits in the forest?
The forest is said to be haunted. Spirits possess the trees, the wolves, even the bodies of the dead. They yearn for true life, you see.
Usually enough that left the Dalish can return. It's a matter of whether or not the clan actually individually accepts them, but they do also accept city elves. Like, if an elf ends up leaving human or Shemlin society and decides to join the Dalish, they may tentatively accept them, but they are generally willing to cooperate with anyone willing to learn their ways, provided they are actually an elf. If a human came along and was like, I want to join your people, they'd be like, no, and go ahead and lop your own head off for me, that'd be great. There were battles in the forest?
Who can say what value the Imperium placed on this land? And how many elves died here in slavery? Even the barbarians who came to overthrow the Imperium fought and died on this soil.
How many werewolves are there?
No one knows. When the Shemlin lived in these parts, the curse would spread anew to a few of them with each passing year. They would run off into the forest, never to be seen again. Eventually, all the Shemlin left. One assumes the werewolves survive by passing their curse to their offspring. They have had no new blood. Until now, that is.
The fucking car honk in the distance. For the
Motorbike
briefest...
can't object.
For the briefest of seconds, I thought that was in-game, and I was very confused.
GTA Origins.
Who the F has a car in this world? Anyway.
This fucking...
Have the hunters become werewolves?
It is said that one or two have turned already, though the Keeper denies it. As for the rest, they will either die or turn, unless they are killed out of mercy. I would rather die than become a ravening, soulless beast. Wouldn't you?
Maybe. I mean, I am a mage, so that is a possibility. But that's all I need to know.
One last warning. The forest is like a thing alive. It changes as it wills, closing paths behind you and opening up new ones. Too many have become lost within, unable to find their way out. Were I you, I would endeavor not to make the forest my enemy.
Well, that sounds fair. So, a lot of bit of lore and history was just dropped, and yes, I am aware of the word.
Uh-huh.
I was just dropped. That's fine.
Boy.
Brazilian Forest got a whole bunch of... Jeez. Alright, let's see. Where do I want to go? Okay, so that leads out of the camp. And, yeah, I think we're going to actually get going with the mission. Yay! I'm going to save again, even though it's redundant at this point.
I mean, better safe than sorry.
Better redundant than not at all.
Yeah?
As you desire. Game cuts off her dialogue. Go back to camp once in a while to treat injuries. West Brazilian Forest. Well, this'll be something.
The veil is thin here, and all manner of strange things may be seen.
Thank you, Liliana.
We're on the road to Brazilian Forest. Meet my friends along the way.
Oh. Yep, there are a lot of wolves. Yep. Yep. Oh no! We have to kill puppies.
Now's your time to shine, motorbike champ.
Have I ever played this on console? No. I don't have a console that would play it, so... Excuse you, werewolf! I did not ask your opinion!
Oh, God.
So there's also blight wolves, which apparently have the same pelts as normal wolves, even though they've got giant spikes sticking out of them. That's fine. So this place is actually a maze. You can actually, in fact, get lost here. Here is a skeleton. I'm sorry. I will never be able to divorce skeleton from papyrus and sands ever again.
I mean, yeah, it will never not be 2015 when it comes to certain words and phrases. Like the word determination will never be the same again, for example.
Anyway.
Welcome to the Undertale Appreciation Hour, which is to say,
Always.
24/7.
Yeah.
I was even listening to like some covers of the soundtrack, like while I was at today.
Of course you were.
Like in particular, the Hotland core theme, Above the Magma, I think it's called.
It's a bear. Okay.
God. You know how the bear's minding its own business and then it's just like, oh, bear!
I mean...
You lament the deaths of each and every pupper, but one random bear just going about its day and...
Well, no, it killed what looks like a Templar, so maybe I shouldn't have killed it. Maybe I should have been thanking it.
I was gonna say...
You know what? Fuck it. I'm sorry, flip it. Let's give you some arrows. Actually, let's take those off for now.
Fuck it, flip it, put it in a stew.
Stop.
I almost went to a Gollum voice and then I realized he wasn't the one who sang that song.
Oh. Okay. Well, we're being approached, it looks like. Swift runner.
The Watchwolves have spoken truly, my brothers and sisters. The Dalish send a human of all things to repay us for our attack, to put us in our place. What bitter irony.
So they talk. Huh. You speak. I thought werewolves were savage beasts.
We are beasts, but we are no longer simple and mindless. Let that thought chill your spine. You speak to Swift Runner. I lead my cursed brothers and sisters. Turn back now. Go back to the Dalish and tell them that you have failed.
Okay, Worf.
Tell them we will gladly watch them suffer the same curse we have suffered for too long. We will watch them pay.
I would prefer to talk to you. I mean you no harm.
Was it not Zathrian who sent you? He wishes only our destruction, never to talk.
You talk of Zathrian as if you know him.
We have never met, he and I. He would not survive the experience. I swear it.
Why exactly? Why do you hate him so much?
You know nothing, do you? Nothing of us, and even less of those you serve. You are a fool, and we are done talking. Run from the forest while you can. Run to the Dalish and tell them they are doomed.
I don't want to fight, but neither can I retreat.
I do not wish to fight you either, but we cannot trust you. Come, brothers and sisters, let us retreat. The forest has eyes of its own, and it will deal with intruders as it always has.
Well, okay then. Okay, hi, bye. Nice to meet you, I guess. And
You sure did a great job continuing the tweaking on the Sonic design.
I'm getting a divorce.
Oh, God.
Alright, well...
perpetuate the joke with the blue fireball.
I'm
Soon
rapid.
they will all be blue blurs.
Yeah, I don't wish to fight the werewolf immediately attacked by werewolves.
As you desire. Lovely.
I just love games that give you the illusion of multiple endings and free will.
Oh, yes. Magister's Cinch. What's that?
I mean, I say that, but Undertale technically falls under that category.
Okay. I mean, Undertale does give you quite a few choices.
Yeah, but I don't think it's nearly as much freedom as it leads you to believe.
Just gonna stand over this poor guy. Anyway, hey, Dagan.
Yeah.
Who comes?
You're badly wounded. What happened to you?
We were sent to find Witherfang, bring his heart. Attacked.
He falls unconscious. You actually have the opportunity to murder knife him here, as in cutscene. Try to... Alright. Let's, take the hunter back to the Dalish camp. Or, let's examine him. His wounds are deep, and some are still bleeding heavily. The result of an attack by creatures with large claws. He does not appear to have any bite marks. Cast a healing spell on him?
You healed me with magic. I suppose you must have. Thank you. I only vaguely remember you finding me. I am very lucky that you did, I think. You are human, obviously. It is strange to receive aid from a human, but I am grateful.
Oh, I know why there are Templars in the forest. They send Templars after the Dalish elves, because all of their keepers are mages, as well as their firsts. Tell me what happened, or who are you?
I am just a simple hunter of my clan, Dagan of the Dalish. Obviously, my clan must know of you. Might I ask who you are?
I am Evelyn of the Grey Wardens.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance, then.
Tell me what happened.
We were in the forest searching for Witherfang. We found traces, but made no sighting of the beast itself. We were not a day into the forest when we were ambushed by a group of werewolves. We did not expect them to be so cunning. I managed to crawl away during battle. I expect the others are dead. At least I was not bitten.
Do you want me to come with you?
No, I am certain I can make it safely back to my people alone. But thank you for the offer.
You should head back to your camp.
That would be wise. I must speak with the keeper.
Quest completed. You found the wounded elven hunter and healed him. He has returned to camp. Sweet! Perks of being a mage. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
What? I don't want to... Oh, it's Darkspawn. I do want to fight them.
I'm sorry, it's just like... I don't want to... Oh, it's Darkspawn.
Get me away from the Darkspawn. I am Squish Mage.
I am Squish Mage. Hear me? Ah!
Oh god, oh god, oh. Thanks for protecting me from the ogre, Alistair. Thanks
best
for
boyfriend.
Thanks for being a tank.
Cool.
The little tank that could.
Win! You're blocked! Move! Win! You dumbass grandma! You wanna be mentor. Is that more? Is that more? That's another. Yes. The hell are you laughing for? You just had your ass handed to you. I nearly died.
Haha! Dangling things.
I think the Herlock was defending itself, Liliana. Why would you tell the Herlock to defend itself? You see a tombstone before you. It gives you an uneasy feeling.
It fills you with determination.
But it is a mystical side of power. Okay, then. Oh, Interesting. So let's see, where have I been? Okay, let's see. So I got pulled over here. And now there's a gigantic stain of blood on the ground.
Thank you for your commentary, Motorbike Chan.
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
Go back to your tower, Granny. You ain't wrong.
Gran in the tower, she's holding out.
Can't tell me what to do.
You're not my real mom.
Oh, wait, maybe. Oh, it's a tree. I forgot about these. Want some fire tree? There you go.
Welcome to Oz, bitch.
Oh, that is one dead tree.
Yeah.
And I think there are more. Don't you growl at me. Are you guys want to fight it? Halfway, Liliana. Halfway. Why are you splattered with blood, tree? You don't have blood, tree!
Probably for the same reason all of you are splattered with blood.
But the tree has no blood.
That you know of.
The tree doesn't have blood.
Maybe it wasn't his. Maybe he was holding it for a friend.
Yeah, the vampire friend that visits every once in a while.
I mean, even vampires need their dealers.
And Grand Oak. I love this. Oh!
Welcome to the world of Pokemon.
Fuck you.
That was actually a better impression than I thought it was gonna be. I'm not gonna lie.
Anyway, cutscene.
What manner of beast be thee that comes before this elder tree?
No, I'm not gonna try and convince it I'm a werewolf. How is it you can talk?
How do I speak? The same as you. I form the words and sound them true. Now I have answered a query of thine, but thou hast yet to answer mine.
Can't you see me? I am a human.
Ah, yes. I remember thy kind. So brief of life, and all but blind to the peril you cause, the lives you take. Such chaos is sown within thy wake. Allow me a moment to welcome thee. I am called the Grand Oak, sometimes the Elder Tree.
Why are you dancing?
The world is certainly
What?
full of
Win!
marvelous, unexpected
Your
things.
arms!
Each day we see something that we never thought possible. Wow.
Oh God!
And unless thou thinkst it far too soon,
Oh, we're having a square fire and
might
purple
I
bitch
ask
moment.
of thee a boon?
Purple biscuits!
Fair.
Oh no, that's actually a common glitch from the game, though. I've seen that before.
My word.
What are you exactly?
I am an Elder Oak and nothing more. Though once I dreamt of a time before when I roamed the world and howled with pain. Not of this world, but twixt and twain. Perhaps I was a spirit then, a wandering thing drawn to this glen. But then that spirit joined with a tree. Since then, a tree is all I be.
You are much more than just a tree.
There are many just as I, but mad they are, I shall not lie. A spirit trapped within a tree, no mouth to scream or eyes to see. A cage of bark, a prison wood, a thing of rage where nature stood. So twisted sylvan they become. But I am not the same as some. I accept my fated oaken home. I feel no need to rage and roam.
That's fair. Why do you speak in rhymes?
I do not know. Why dost thou not? Thy words seem plain, a mundane lot. Perhaps a poet's soul's in me. Does that make me a poetry?
I don't know. So, perhaps a poet's soul's in me. Does that make me a poetry? I love this tree so much.
Oh my god.
A poetry. Yes, I get it.
It was but a simple jest, a jibe to entertain my guest.
Look, I love it. I love puns. As anyone who has ever been in a Discord server with me can tell you, I will frequently get into pun battles with people. I ended up actually... So there was a bunch of egg puns that were coming out in the Lemon Light Productions public server. And a mutual friend, Lantern, was saying, I wish that I could come up with a pun for albumin, or something like, someday I will come up with a pun for albumin. And I said, well, give it an albuminate, and it'll come to you. And it basically caused, like, okay, you know what? You. I like you.
Oh my god, I just realized.
What?
Sap the Skeletree. Or the Great Sapirus.
I would like to know more of this forest. I would like to... I'm gonna ask a question, so you need to stop. I would like to know more of this forest.
I can only speak to what a tree may see. It may not help you, but it is enough for me.
Why is it called the Brazilian forest exactly? You know this answer, Evelyn.
That is but a human name. One placed upon this land their claim. A claim they stole from ancient elves, whom they first killed, and were killed themselves.
There were elves who lived here?
It was the elves who planted the seeds, raised the forest, saw to its needs. But that was all. So long ago. That they are dead is all I know.
I love this tree. What happened here to make the forest like this?
A great war, perhaps. I cannot tell. I was not here when it befell. But many deaths here, all the same. And with the deaths, the spirits came. The spirits entered corpse and tree, and most went mad, as thou canst see. The forest had a spirit of its own, from back when its first seeds were sown. Perhaps she died of grief that day, or perhaps she simply went away. Or perhaps the wares are the ones to blame, for the day she left is the day they came.
Interesting. Is there anything around here of note?
Most of what was is overgrown, leaving only broken stone. Perhaps some ruins remain free of rot. I know not where, I see them not.
Where can I find Witherfang's lair?
In the center of the forest, the wares do dwell, or so go the tales my fellows tell. But they cannot be followed there. The forest doth protect the wares.
Why do the trees protect them?
Perhaps wares use magic to command the trees. All I know is they move as they please.
I love a lot of what they're seeding here, no pun and actually intended, with what this character is saying is, there once was a spirit of the forest, but she disappeared as soon as the werewolves came, and the werewolves appear to be protected by the forest. So...
I mean, Princess Mononoke much?
Is there any other way to get to the center of the forest?
Perform the boon as I ask, and I shall reward thee for the task.
I see.
I have but one desire, to solve a matter very dire. As I slept one early morn, a thief did come and steal an acorn.
Princess Mononoke, it's a Ghibli film.
Yeah, you need to watch some Miyazaki, my dude.
Oh, yes. Absolutely an excellent movie. I love it. Like, it's great just on its own as its own story. A lot of excellent fantasy elements to it. And also a very important message about capitalism and industry, or industrialization anyway.
Yeah, if you ever have the opportunity to see it, do yourself a favor. It is a fantastic movie. Like, gorgeous soundtrack, visuals are amazing, and as Laura said, many important messages.
An acorn?
All I have is my being, my seed. Without it, I am alone indeed. I cannot go and seek it out, yet I shall die if left without.
Where would I find this thief?
It was stolen by a human man. Deep within these woods he ran. Woods that I could travel there. I teach the fool to soon beware.
Very well. I will help you.
Go to the east to find this man. I shall await. Do what thou can.
I love him. He is such a good tree.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do one last little questy-loo here, and then probably call it for tonight, but let's see. This campsite appears remarkably intact. The tents and bedrolls are covered with leaves, but are dry and whole. The fire pit smokes and possesses embers enough to build into a small flame. There are no signs of any inhabitants.
This is strange. The werewolves would not use such a camp, would they? Whoever this belongs to must be nearby.
You're probably right. Keep an eye out. You get no hint of danger, though it strikes you as odd that the camp is abandoned. Perhaps searching the camp will give more clues as to its nature. Alright. Well, let's see. Let's check the tent.
As you desire.
You look inside the tent and are surprised by how dry and cozy it feels. It is clean but empty. What a pleasant place to rest your head.
The elven hunters didn't set this up. How strange. And yet it all just seems so friendly. I want to do nothing but remain.
A pot tree, huh? We can't leave yet. We need to stay alert. It takes all your strength to step back from the tent. A wave of weariness washes through you, despite your efforts to resist it. A bedroll. You examine the bedroll. It looks clean and warm. You feel like you haven't slept in ages. It would be so nice to curl up and sleep.
I feel magic here. Draining my strength. We must leave. And soon.
I feel it too. We need to stay awake. You turn away from the bedroll, but only reluctantly. The lure of sleep is almost overpowering. Alright. And the fire pit. You examine the remains of the fire pit. It has been untended for several hours at most. The embers draw you in, almost hypnotizing you.
The lights in the fire, they are so pretty. The flickering, glowing warmth, comfort. I wish I could just lie here and...
Stay alert. This could be some kind of trap. Unable to resist the strange siren call, you trudge back to the tents and quickly collapse and drift off into a blissful sleep. And that's not in the tents, guys.
Oh, God.
And, well, I mean, that was dumb, but whatever. With the shade destroyed, the fog seems to lift. The camp that was here is ancient, and the remnants of the shade's victims all lie as if sleeping still.
How long has that spirit lingered there, and how many has it preyed upon? I shudder to think of it.
Well, that happened. Okay, so that's all the same pile of bones. Emerald ring. And Dalish gloves, but these are a gift.
As you desire.
Alright, I'll take the quartz. Oh, and the greater shade. What did you drop? Oh, a lesser nature salve, okay. So, there's that little encounter. I forget exactly who it is. I think it leaves one of your characters alive usually. For me, it's almost always Wynn that ends up being able to stay alive in order to fight. But
right.
And then actually, I think, yeah, that means that somehow falling unconscious gives you an injury. I mean, I suppose if you literally fell. Torn jugular from falling asleep? Liliana!
Jesus. Also, on the subject of falling asleep, you have a good one, Dawn.
Oh, yes. I'm actually going to be calling it here. I think this is, all things considered, a reasonable stopping point.
And fitting.
I suppose, yeah. This is where we can call it for a night, and... I mean, I hate to be like, yes, go and rest. Sleep tight, sleep well. No harm shall come to you. But, It's mages that stay awake. I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily mages, because I think that there's usually someone in the party that stays awake regardless. But obviously mages stay awake here, because I think it has to do with, like, willpower or something like that.
Nothing like making camp at a mass grave.
I know, right? So, standing amidst the bones of those who were already sacrificed to this demon, I want to thank you all for watching today. Those of you who are watching live as I stream, and those of you who may be catching up later. We shall be getting to the meat of this particular quest probably next week. Or actually, next week. Oh my gosh, I forgot to even mention this. Next week is actually going to be a special occasion. I am going to still be doing a stream. It's probably not going to be Dragon Age Origins, however. I haven't worked out all of the details yet. But in the middle of this next week will actually be 11 years since I first started posting Let's Plays to YouTube. Actually, technically my first real content, well, my YouTube content. I have been doing, like, comics before that, but... So, to celebrate, I'm probably going to be doing a stream. There is a good chance that patrons from Patreon are going to be participating, and there will probably be some kind of game that we'll be playing, whether it's something like Cards Against Humanity, or Scriblio, or even a Whose Line-esque segment, which will take a little bit more organization, but still possibly be fun to throw together. So that's going to be next week, and I will be posting details to my channel on Wednesday about when and how and where and all of that. But, so next week is not going to be Dragon Age. I am sorry about that. The continuation of this story will have to be 2 weeks from now as opposed to just next week. But, with that all said, I am looking forward to streaming technically tomorrow morning. It's going to be 3 in the morning for me, but like 9 in the morning in the UK, so at the GMT time zone, it'll be about 9 o'clock in the morning. And I will be finishing up my Undertale playthrough at long last. So hopefully that should be interesting. Alright, but thank you guys all for watching. I look forward to seeing you either tomorrow or hopefully next week. It'll be probably a longer stream than usual, though probably not like in the old days when I did 24-hour streams. That would be rather difficult for me to do. So,
yeah.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me, Griffin. I know that I say this every time, and I do mean it, but it has been a pleasure having you on board with me.
The pleasure is mine.
And, well, I will see you guys later.
Take care, everyone.